Hey, St. John's Church family, Pastor Tom here, and I am coming to you with the latest update on our worship services here at St. John's as of August 2020. The last time that we held a worship service in this space was on Sunday, March 8th. And I don't have to tell you that virtually every aspect of our lives has changed since that time. But I also hope that I don't have to tell you that God has not changed, that his love remains the same, and that he has been so faithful to us in sustaining us in worship, being able to join together, whether it be online or this summer being outside, some of you out at Mann Park. And so this Sunday, August 16th, we're going to be adding another worship opportunity, and that is going to be an in-person worship service here in our sanctuary at 8 o'clock on Sunday mornings. The format of this service is going to be a traditional service because our contemporary service is going to continue to meet out at Mann Park at 10 a.m. And so we encourage you to join us for either one of those, or for so many of you who are joining us online, we want you to know that none of that's going to change either. We'll offer both services online at the same times as well. But if you are planning on joining us for worship in our building this weekend or at any point in the future, I just want to spend a few minutes going over some of the measures that we're taking to make this environment as safe and as comfortable for those who are joining us in this season as possible. Now, we recognize that we can't do everything to totally eliminate COVID exposure during a pandemic. And so we want to encourage those who are considered high risk to continue considering worship online. But we want everyone to know that we are doing absolutely everything that we can to protect one another by following the latest guidance through the CDC, and also taking the wise counsel of some of the medical professionals who are part of our church family and have been sharing their wisdom with our church council. And so to that end, there's a couple of things that I want to share. Number one, if you or your family member have experienced any of the following, I'm going to give you a big long list, then what we would ask you to do is continue to worship with us online at this moment. And these include if you have a fever of 100.4 or greater, if you've tested positive for COVID, or if you've been in close contact with somebody who's tested positive for COVID. If you or a family member has any of the following symptoms, fatigue, headache, sore throat, congestion, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, shortness of breath, conjunctivitis, which is pink eye. If any of those things apply to you, just join us online, not in person, for at least 2 weeks from the onset of symptoms. We also want you to know that our staff and our volunteers are going to be asked those same questions. Every Sunday they come to serve, as well as go through a temperature check before serving. Second thing I want to share with you is that we're all going to play a role in this as well. And there's a couple of things that we're asking of everyone. Number one, use hand sanitizer when you come in. We'll have those automatic hand sanitizing stations right when you walk in the door. If you happen to use the restroom or something like that, that would be a time to wash your hands or use the hand sanitizer too. Please practice physical distancing of at least 6 feet from people outside your immediate household whenever you're here in the building. And we're also asking everyone to wear a mask. If you don't have a mask, we'll have several available for you. Third thing I want to share with you is that there will not be any coffee or treats at this time, and we will not be handing out physical bulletins. We're going to try to make this as much of a touchless experience as possible. To that end, Holy Communion will be a little bit different. If you've been out to our outdoor service, it'll be just like we're doing out there. You'll receive communion elements in a prepackaged little container when you come into church, and that way you can commune yourself while we commune together, but we will not be processing forward like we normally do. Our doors will open only 15 minutes before the service begins, so be sure to join us at that point or later. And then as the worship service ends, what we'll ask you to do is promptly exit out the side door of the sanctuary and then head out to the parking area where you can have some fellowship with others from a safe distance outside. Also want you to know that our building has been deep cleaned over the last couple of weeks in anticipation of your return. And our custodial services are going to be cleaning each and every Sunday after our services. Now, to facilitate physical distancing, when you walk into the sanctuary, you'll see that there will be several pews that are roped off. And we'll also have some space outside the sanctuary in the welcome area and even in the fellowship hall where our services will be streamed in real time. So wherever you end up being seated, wherever you feel most comfortable, you will be able to worship with us and participate as usual. Our hope in all of this is that these measures will, again, make our worship services as safe and comfortable as possible for everybody who joins us. And I know that that requires a sacrifice from all of us. But as followers of Christ, that's how we show our love for one another. And it's also a reminder to us that while these sacrifices are temporary, and even if they don't feel like it, they most certainly are, but the expressions of love that they represent, those will last forever. And so if you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to reach out to me, to anybody on our staff, in our leadership. And as always, all of this is subject to change, so be sure to stay posted on email, social media. Give us a call if you have any questions. But I look forward to seeing all of you this weekend, whether it's online, whether it's outside, or whether it's in person. Until then, have a blessed week.